Hello everybody, my name is Preston. I'm with Drift Hero USA. And today we're going to go over the assembly of the 1500 watt electric dirt bike and the 1000 watt electric dirt bike. Both are very similar in assembly, so we're going to go over both of them. All right guys, we got all your tools here. Every bike comes with all the tools you need. The only thing that I found helpful while removing some of the packaging was just a pair of wire snips. All right, first step, we got to take it out of the box. Now that we got the box off, for this next step, we're going to take off this metal crate that protects the machine. And for that, you're going to need the Allen wrench and a small crescent wrench and some wire snips. There's a few things that we'll need to snip and remove. One right here, this box. And set those aside. This tire. Okay, now for this next step, we're just gonna take a bunch of stuff out of the crate. Your front tire should be loose at this point, so we can set this aside. The next is you've got your front fender, which is attached here with the zip tie. We'll snip that, remove that, and get it out of the way. Place it somewhere where it won't get damaged. And now for this next step, we've got 2 wires that we need to snip, and then we'll get rid of that front box as well. Okay, now that we've got everything removed, it's time to take the motorcycle off the crate. There's a little handle in the rear, so you can hold it right here and by the forks. All right, now for the next step, I've got it on this little stand. You don't have to do that. You can put it on the ground or do whatever you want, find a box or something. It just makes it easier. But we've got one zip tie here that's holding the handlebars together, so we'll remove that, and then we'll get the handlebars out of the way for now and gently put them there, and we'll remove this plastic. For this next part, we're going to go through the boxes that come with it. We'll open these up. We've got your number plate that we have here, so we'll set that aside. We've got your charger in this box here, so we'll set that aside as well. We've got your fork padding, and so we'll put that on very last. We've got 2 bags here with different tools and your keys and different things that we'll need. And then you'll have your rear shock protector and the mud flap there. You've got your owner's manual, and then a few different things. Very, very important is this key here. Looks like a normal Allen wrench, but it's actually specific for this machine. And so we'll go into more detail about that, but do not lose this key. Now for this box, we'll open this one up. You've got your 2 front shocks, and you've got your front axle. So for this step, we're going to assemble and install the rear shock. First of all, we're going to get rid of the plastic that we have here. And then you've got 2 bolts that you'll use an Allen wrench to loosen right up in here. So loosen those. And then you're going to take your mud flap and put the 2 bolts that you just took out through that, and then we'll go ahead and put those back. And then the next step after that, we're gonna take the bottom shock, we're gonna take the nut and the bolt out, just like that. We're gonna put the mud flap through, and then down underneath, we're gonna raise the rear tire up to put the bolt through. All right, so now for the next step, we're gonna install the 2 front forks. They are specific to which side they go on. You'll notice here it's got a little slot for the brake line, and this will be on the left side. The one without that will be on the right side. So I'm gonna put this one down for a minute, And what you do is you're gonna go up through here and then through the top one. And they do have a couple different settings that you can set it at. This is really up to your preference on user size and height. We always typically default to all the way extended. So go down right there to where the red is showing now, and then you can use your Allen wrench and tighten them up. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, we're gonna go over what comes in this bag of different screws so you know where each of them go. Here are your keys. We've got fuses. You'll need one of them, and then you got one for a spare. This is your key. This will be able to allow you to adjust the speed and different adjustments, and then keep the key so the kids don't have access to it if you don't want them to. These here are for your forks, which we'll show you later on. This is to mount your front fender for the 3 screws here. And then this is to secure your side plastics. And then finally we'll end up with these. This will be like one of the last steps, and they just cover some of the bolts. For this next step, we'll take the 2 screws and we're gonna secure these side plastics in. So you take the 1 screw, put it in, tighten it down. Next one, put it through this here and line it up just like so. We're going to install the handlebars. We'll first take and remove the plastic. So now we're going to put it in place. They are specific to which side. This is a little battery gauge that you have here, and the throttle, which goes on the right side. So we'll put it like this. Center it here, and then you've got 4 bolts. So you've got these 4 bolts, and then these 2 top brackets. We're gonna put those in place first and get all your wires out of the way, and then you're gonna line it up so that they're centered. And then you've got your 4 bolts that we'll put in, and you want to secure them tightly. One thing to keep in mind too, with these, you want to tighten them so that they're evenly. So you don't want to tighten one side down first and then move to the other. You want to do just a little here and a little there, and then move back and forth so that they go down evenly between all 4. Just to finish up here, once you have the desired position of the handlebars that you want, you really want to get these as tight as possible, just so, and as even as possible as well, just so you don't get any movement while you're riding. We're going to put the front tire on. You've got your axle here, so we're going to take that off. It's very important to realize that the 2 spacers that you have on both sides are unique to each side. The bigger of the 2 will be on the left side, on the brake side. So we'll go ahead and put that in. We'll start this one. Your brake is on the left side, and so we'll put the fork in. We'll go ahead and tighten down the axle until tight. Okay, for this next step, we're going to assemble the brake assembly, and we're going to put that together. You've got 2 Phillips head screws here. We're going to loosen those, and then that will be where we feed the brake line down through. So remove one. Put the brake line in, and then you can go ahead and tighten that back up. With the brake assembly, we've got these 2 screws. What we're going to do is we're going to take those out. So unscrew those. Those will be mounted, it'll be mounted just like that. And so you line it up here, and you've got your brake pad underneath there. The rotor will go through there. Okay, so when you got that in place, these two bolts, go ahead and tighten those down just so they're tight. Now that we've got the brake assembly in place and where we want it, there's some adjustability, and it comes down to your preference on how you like the brake lever to react as you're riding. And so you have a couple of different adjustments to loosen or tighten your brake pads, and you do that by these two bolts here. So you can, if it's too tight, you can loosen it, adjust it, get your brake pads right, and then tighten them back up. For the next step, we've got your front fender, which is going to be mounted right here. We'll go ahead and assemble that. You also got your 3 screws that we'll be using that will mount up under here. This next step, we're gonna install the number plate. And to do that, it's really easy. You've got 2 pieces here that go down into the front fender. So we'll do that. And also you take note that the brake line will go in between that little slot there to keep it out of the way. And then you've got 2 screws on the back here that will loosen. We'll loosen those, and then we'll put them right back. So the next step, now that we've got your number plate and your fender installed and in place, you've got your front pad that you can put it on. It goes right here on your forks, and then you can wrap this around and it'll Velcro underneath. Just like that. Okay, now that we got the front end finished, we've got your fuse that we need to install, and then we're also gonna cut these zip ties on both the foot pegs. So we've got one on each side, same on the other side, and we can remove those. Your fuse will go in right here and cap it off, and you're all set. All right, now once we've got the fuse done and the foot peg down, we've got these 2 caps, and we'll go ahead and push those in here. They just protect those bolts, and so you just pop those in. Same thing on the other side. So we're almost finished. Your bike is almost ready to be ridden and ready to go. So we've got a couple things that I want to go over that are really important. We've got your set of keys, and we also have your Allen key. These are really important not to lose, number one, but also parents out there, we've added these 2 features for safety features so that your kids can't just come out here and ride it without your permission or authority. And so don't lose these, and I'll show you how to use them now. Put the key in, you do a 1/4 turn there, and so your machine's on. You also have a kill switch right here on the thumb control. So you've got your Allen key. You're gonna undo this here, lift up the cover here. You've got some controllability. You've got 2 dials here, and right here you'll notice the left one is your throttle response, and your right one is your top speed adjustment. So it goes from a minimum speed to a maximum speed, and 0.2 seconds to 1 second on your throttle response. So if you want them to be as fast as it'll go and the fastest throttle response, you're gonna go out and open on both dials. And the opposite of that, going in on both dials, is the slowest speed and slowest throttle response. All right, guys, so now that we've got all that done, I think you're ready to go out and ride and have some fun. The next step is just to take off the protective coating that we have over the stickers and the decals. So do that, and just be careful not to take off the sticker with it. So take your time in doing that, and then go have fun. All right, the last step is when we're ready to ride and when we finish riding, we need to recharge the battery. So you've got your charger here, plug it into any 110 outlet will work. Remove your rubber cover for it. You've got your charger here, goes in, plug it in, and your light will turn red when it's charging, and it'll turn green when it's finished charging.